In this video, I'm going to show you the complete system of how you can create viral social media content using GPT-4o for Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, even creating short scripts for TikTok and Instagram. And if you're somebody who wants to create content across those platforms in your own tone of voice, using agents that have been trained specifically on what is working right now and what is viral, and you want to do it on autopilot, then this video is for you. I'm Jack. My school community and my YouTube channel are all about the latest AI. We're about incredible automations, and most importantly, we're about the stuff that actually works. So if you haven't already, grab that coffee and let's jump straight in. So to start off, if I may, I'm going to show you what it looks like end to end so you can get a feel about the system. Then I'm going to show you exactly how you build this step by step, and in less than 60 minutes, if you just press the buttons I press, you'll be flying and you'll be able to use this system. So let's run through and see what it looks like. Now, first of all, let's hit run once. So the way this system works is it will automatically, so when I say you don't have to press a button, I'm not joking. You literally can grab an article, let's say OpenAI, they publish a blog, we grab it, we get the HTML from that, we then convert it to text, we enrich the data with AI search, we extract out the key elements, and then we search online to find out and enrich the data. We get a snappy summary by Sir Snaps a lot. So basically that's like, give me what this article's about in 2 to 3 sentences. We create a Midjourney prompt for that image. And then look at this, guys. We have our Facebook agent, our Instagram agent, our LinkedIn agent, our Twitter agent. And then also on top of that, we're going to find and get scripts for if you want to record TikTok videos or for Instagram, whatever you want. And all of this data is going to be in a very easy to access file like this. And look at this, guys. Platform, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So if I click on this Twitter one, for example, check this out. I've got the snappy summary. Apple and OpenAI announced a magic partnership to integrate ChatGPT into iOS, iPad, iOS, macOS, enhancing Siri, writing tools, privacy protections. It's available for free with paid features for ChatGPT subscribers. I can check out the article if I want to. This is the whole article. I've just got a really snappy summary. And check this out, guys. And this is the actual Twitter post. Big news in tech. Apple partners with OpenAI to integrate ChatGPT into iOS, iPadOS, and macOS. Access advanced AI right now within Siri writing tools, privacy, focused, and free. And should also say, not only is this trained on like the Twitter agent on the latest Twitter stuff, the Instagram agent on the latest Instagram, and so on and so forth, I've enriched this with a tone of voice prompt, basically dissecting how I speak and what that looks like to make it incredible. And we've also got a fully fleshed out Midjourney prompt that we can use. And this is the kind of thing you can get from Midjourney, Apple and OpenAI, announcing a partnership and a conference room. Again, all available for you in one single spreadsheet. How cool is that? We've got, if I zoom out a little bit here, you can see we've got it for Twitter, LinkedIn. So if I look at the LinkedIn one, for example, just to show what that looks like. And also look at this, we get the recent insight. So this has gone to Google and grabbed additional data for us. Now let's say that I look at that and I think, do you know what? I really like the look of this Twitter thing. So what would I do? And I've built this, by the way, in an approval system. And I've done that because, yes, we can post automatically. In fact, it's easier just to post automatically. But when it comes to your social profile, my main objective here is to help you scale on autopilot insofar as possible. We want to use the latest AI and automations. We want to sprinkle it with what makes you unique and what makes you epic. But ultimately, sometimes we just want to make sure we have a control system so that if we do want to change it a little bit, we can do. And I think that's more, in my opinion, sensible way to do it until it's hitting the park for you 100% of the time, and then we can move it to auto post. But let's say I like the look of this. This is where the second part of our automation comes in, right? So let me just run this once as a test. Okay, check this out, right? So what will happen? So essentially what this second automation does is it waits for you. It waits for your inputs. So essentially, let's say I like the look of this Twitter post and I say, do you know what? Yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks great. Let's approve it. And this is the only thing you ever need to do in this automation is you scroll over and you say, yes, do you know what? I'm happy. Approved. Now check this out. I come back over. I run this scenario. By the way, this will be running automatically. It goes through our proof filter, goes through to Twitter. And now if this automation's worked properly, when we head over to Twitter right now, we should see that tweet on our page. So let's go and actually check it out, okay? Let's have a look at Twitter. Look at this. Apple partners with OpenAI to integrate ChatGPT into iOS, iPadOS, blah, blah, blah. How do you think this will change user experience? We've got the hashtags, we've got a question for engagement. And all I ever did for this entire automation is I just clicked approved. And remember, it isn't just automation, it's automation in service of what? Like, if this isn't going to be something that gets you views and engagement and it isn't the highest quality, I really don't believe that it's worth doing. In this channel, I only want to cover the stuff that actually works. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let me start with, what do you need to run this automation? And then we'll go through everything that you need to do step by step. So look, you might be thinking, well, what's this weird platform on? This platform here is a no-code automation software called Make.com. So there are a few different options you can have with Make. An alternative you might be familiar with is called Zapier. Make basically just enables us to do what we used to need coders to do, and used to have to pay coders like hundreds of thousands of pounds. And now we rock up with our fresh hoodies and we're just like, yeah, well, we'll just do it ourselves. So it's a configurable modular platform where we just drag things, we connect them together, and then they just work in tandem, and it's perfect. And it's a huge, huge, huge revolution. So this is called Make. The other thing that we're doing here, now, the way that I've set this automation off is I've picked, let's say an article or a website. I'm using something called an RSS feed. If you're not familiar with that, don't worry, I'll show you exactly what that looks like. But the trigger for this could be anything. For example, I've done a video where, and I'll link it on page, so if you want to check that out, go check that out, voice activated. So I could be strolling down the street, chatting to my doggos and be like, hey, I want to do a social media post on OpenAI's approach to blah, blah, blah. It will take the audio, it will convert it. Check out that video if you want to see that. And there's lots of ways that we can do the trigger. This trigger is completely automatic. I've said in this video, whenever OpenAI releases a new article, I want you to trigger it. I want you to add my VMJ or Flare and create viral posts. On RSS feeds, we can come in, we can basically, if we want to add feeds, you can enter any website, any topic, Bitcoin, phone, technology, whatever you want. And the second a new article is posted on that website or on that topic, this automation grabs it. So you need access to rss.app, but that's completely free, up to like 15 feeds, so there's no additional cost with that. Make you can use for free for a significant amount of time. The next thing we need is this thing here called Perplexity AI. Now, Perplexity AI is kind of like Google plus AI, and essentially what it does, it's like an AI brain that sits on top of search. So if I show you just very briefly what that looks like, if you're not too familiar with Perplexity, is you can ask it questions and it uses AI to find some interesting stuff, right? So look, if I go for something like, I don't know, how many barbers in Leeds, for a random question, right? It starts searching all the top results and gives us some stuff. So we use Perplexity here to enrich, 63 barbershops. By contrast, if I ask Google the same thing, even Brave, for example, if I ask Brave the exact same question, I get nothing. It's not relevant. But Perplexity, by contrast, is giving me an actual answer because it's counted it. So we're using AI search, and this is why it's so cool, is because not only do we have the actual article, we've also now enriched it with recent news. Because it could be the case that like, hey, this news is great, but did you realize that 3 weeks ago Jimmy Bob said something else? And it's like, okay, wow, great, that's really helpful data. So it just makes the quality and the research and like the strength of our actual articles and outputs much better. So you need access to Perplexity. What's the cost on that? Well, it's like $5. It's like $5. You basically add $5 of API credits to it. It's really simple to do. You come down to your account, you open it up. If it would let me open it up, oh my goodness, it's misbehaving at the moment. But essentially, you load up your account. Hang on a minute. Hang on a second here. All right, cool. That's a bit better now. Okay, you click on the little cog down there. You click on API. And then when you're in the API, you basically deposit $5. You'll get an API key. And then when you come back over then to Make, you can connect it. Now, as you might have guessed based on the title of the video, we also need GPT-4o. So you want to go ahead and head over to platform.openai.com. You make a deposit, and basically we'll run on what's called an API call. So essentially, we pay based on our token usage. It's like so cheap, GPT-4o now, and that will be the sort of ChatGPT brain. So if you've not used APIs before, think of it as like every one of these agents is like a mini employee with 200 IQ, and we give them a very specific task. And when you stack them together in systems, they do incredible things. And what we're doing here is just calling that agent to bring stuff back based on those prompts. So you need that. And then you want access to this little box here called Airtable. Not the kind of table that we eat our dinner off. It's a better kind of table, actually. This is the Google Sheets on steroids. This is literally, man, Mr. Olympia of the spreadsheet world, okay? And after Airtable, the only thing that you really need, to be fair, is just the social platforms themselves, and you're ready to go. So with that in mind, let's jump in and get started. And I should also say, by the way, all of the agents that you need in this video, the blueprints, the guides, all of that stuff is available in my school community. I'll put a link down below so you can just literally come on. Let's say you pick a video you want to go for, like social media, you scroll down, you can just download all the agents, all the blueprints, all the guides, which basically means when you come to create a new content, a new piece of content, all you ever do is you see this, you come down, click on more, click on import blueprint, choose the file, you select the file, click save, and then the entire automation populates automatically. And all these agents, by the way, like Facebook's like Gen 5, I think, Instagram agents Gen 3, I'm constantly updating them in the classroom, so you'll get access to that as that continues to grow over time. But look, in this video, guys, I'm not just going to import it, I'm going to build it from scratch so you can follow along all the way through. Now, we must start with the formalities. The formalities is an appropriate title. So let's call this one, let's call viral with a load of R's, and let's go for a little bit of an up emoji to kind of signify where we want to go. And when you're viral, you got millions of followers, I hope we can still be friends. So look, where do we actually start with? Well, the first thing we want to do is a trigger. Now, I told you before about there's so many ways we could trigger this. I'm going to use rss.app with this, okay? So we click on the button, we type in RSS, and you see two options here. Watch RSS feed items and retrieve them. Retrieval is, hey, today's today, right? Grab me it's what happened in the past. So, you know, they've published 5 articles, just reach back and grab the last 5, 3, 10, 20 articles. Retrieve sits there like a tiger waiting. And the second something pops up, we grab it and we bring it in. So for your automation, I would personally recommend that you do the watch. So when it comes in, you grab and you post. For this video, because we might be sat here for like 3 hours waiting for it to happen, I'm just going to retrieve to show you how it works. Now we see URL, don't worry about date from, don't worry about date to, and the maximum number of returned items. So we need a URL. So how do we get that? Well, look, it's rss.app. Now, RSS is like this really simple syndication. And like I said to you before, we can follow Twitter, YouTube, literally anything you could possibly think of, even including keywords. Like for example, if I type in Bitcoin, this is just to show you how it works, right? It'll create a feed for Bitcoin. So I have all these articles on Bitcoin, altcoin, Bitcoin Trump, blah, 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 blah. I can create the feeds, I can save them, I can plug them into the automation, and whenever a new article pops up, we're ready to rock and roll. For this video though, I'm going to use OpenAI blog because it's AI related, and you know, what are we without our AI? So we love OpenAI a little bit. So this is OpenAI news, and here are all the beautiful articles. I do love the style they've got actually. It's really nice, isn't it? A kind of watercolor, pastel-y. It's very disarming. So what do? I copy the URL, openai.com/news. I go back. And what do? I just type in the URL. That's literally all I do. And I hit generate. And if it's doing its job properly, we should see OpenAI's articles here. Oh gosh, this coffee shop in Leeds is so good. It's called Kapow. It's like the best one of the best ones I've ever been to. And look, does this look familiar? Well, it should do, right? Because it's just a carbon copy. Incredible. Then all I need to do is click save feed like this. Okay, feed has been saved successfully. And then we get this XML thing and just click copy. And by the way, quick aside, you can actually create multiple feeds. So if I wanted OpenAI blog, I wanted like Claude's blog, I wanted like Elon Musk's tweets, you can create what's called a bundle where it grabs all those 3 things together into one particular feed. You can check out this video on screen now, which is like 10 levels of AI automation. I explain it in great amount of detail. It's also really cool if you're a beginner, you can follow through all the steps and know how to take RSS to another level. But for the purpose of this video, I'll just keep it simple, out of respect for your time, and I'll show you what this one looks like. So we copy that, we then head back over then to our automation, and all we do is we just enter the URL. Now, maximum return items is how many of the articles do you want us to grab? So I'll just say, for argument's sake, grab me 5, and then we'll just run once. Okay, and if this has done its job properly, we should see the last 5 article URLs. Look, output 1, output 2. See, here's the first one. OpenAI and Apple partnership. OpenAI welcomes Sarah as a CFO, blah, blah, blah. But to make this simple for the video, I'm just going to use 1, and then I click OK. Cool, so we've got RSS, we've got our article. Mr. Orange Bundle over there is doing his job properly. Now let's grab the file, okay? So get a file. Now with it, the reason I'm adding this, and you come over here, by the way, all I want you to do is find the URL, and you'll notice that it pulses. So click on the pulse, click on URL, is I'm saying, look, we've got the URL, but we don't have any of the actual data. Like all we have is URL and the title of the page. I need all this beautiful text, which is why I say to it, hey, HTTP bro, go over to RSS and download it for me. So look at this, I'll do it. And Mr. HTTP's done it, and I'll look at the output. Check it out, this is all HTML. But then we've got another thing we gotta look at is, does this look readable to you? It doesn't to me. So we now need to take it from HTML into our Queen's beautiful English. And to do that, we're gonna go for HTML to text. And really simply, all this does is just takes the HTTP and just puts it into the Queen's beautiful English like this. So data, and click OK. And then you can hit this auto align just to simplify it, which is awesome. And then run once. We don't mind the transform being the last module at the moment. And then let's have a look. Output, and then we've got text. How awesome is that? That's cool. And basically, if you set this to run, you can set the time. It will just keep on doing that and pumping out new articles. So epic, so simple, so profoundly powerful, and yet so few people know it. If you're watching this, you are already so far ahead, even at this stage. All right, cool. So the question now is, what happens next? Well, look, if we take a quick look at our journey here, we've got Perplexity next. We've got a snappy summary. So let's add those two in, okay? Now look, I click here, I zoom out a tiny bit. Now we type in Perplexity. Now we can do the verified option. This one is free to use, and create a chat completion. So essentially with Perplexity, model-wise, I'm gonna go for the Mixtral 8x7b instruct. I'm essentially saying, look, I've got an article. What I kind of want you to do is identify what this article's about, go online and just research, like, I guess the top 3 thematical points of it, and bring me back 5 key insights and data that would probably be helpful either contextually or just would be beneficial. So for that, we're going to use a prompt, Perplexity. So let me find my beautiful Perplexity prompt. Okay, here we go. So this is the prompt we're going to give it, all right? Analyze the provided article and extract 2 to 3 key phrases that capture the main topics or themes. Use these to improve the quality and accuracy of your search. So the idea that I've got here is that I'm not just saying read it and search. I'm kind of saying, like, look, take a step first and just think about, like, if you had to summarize what this was about in 2 or 3 sentences or 2 or 3 expressions, what would it be? And then go ahead and search. I'm kind of cajoling it a little bit. Use these extracted phrases to perform a search across a wide range of recent, reliable sources. I try to emphasize the primacy because I don't want it going back to 1905 and finding out what they thought about technology. From these search results, identify the 5 most relevant and up-to-date insights or facts related to the topical in the original article. Rogue this there. Present these insights or facts in a clear, concise manner, providing brief context where necessary to ensure understanding, using no more than 30 words per point. I just don't want it to drag on, like, be concise. And then crucially, include the source and date for each insight, and then a really simple example format. So what do? I copy, I come over, and all I do is content, I just enter it in. And then what we need to do is give it, and come over here so you can get a great look. I want to make sure you can see at all times with this, look, come Perplexity, come down, and then I need to give it the output from the text parser, right? Because if you think about it, article, just so it's got some nice, whoops, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Cool, if you think about it, just zooming out very briefly for a sec. Why won't let me do that? I wonder why that is. Let's just scroll down. Roll. I always go for user in this particular case, and then click OK. So look, we've grabbed the article automatically. We've downloaded it as a file for the HTML. We've converted it to English, and then we're giving that English to Perplexity. Okay, so shall we run it and just see what that looks like very briefly? RSS, HTTP, Perplexity's working as magic in the background. Perplexity's so cheap to run, by the way. Like, you put $5 in, it's like the everlasting gobstopper of the AI world. It, like, you can, I feel like you almost can't run out of credits. It's ridiculous. I come down, look at the message, look at the content, 5 insights, bam. OpenAI and Apple have partnered to integrate ChatGPT into Apple's experiences. 2024. Siri can utilize ChatGPT's intelligence when appropriate. ChatGPT available on Apple's system, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff. Okay, awesome. So we've got all this cool additional data. And, you know, if you've got specific use cases, you can kind of just, like, add those as extra layers within Perplexity, or you can split them out and do lots of other kind of really beautiful, complicated things based on your use case. Okay, awesome. Now what do we want to do? Well, at this point, I kind of want to create a bit of a snappy summary. I like the snappy summary because from my perspective, if I'm looking through this, I'm like, do you know what, dude, what is this about? Let me just see. I can click on it. I can say in 2 sentences, just give me the TLDR of it, okay? So I think it's just helpful for you, so you can, it makes your job a lot easier, I think, when you're deciding what you want to talk about. So for that, we're going to open up new. We're going to come over here to OpenAI. You're going to look for create a completion. You're going to max tokens is going to be 0. If you set it to 0, it will just be the default maximum for you. The model is GPT-4 Omni system. And then we're going to add a message. And then obviously the role here is going to be user. Now let's take a look at the message we've got. So I can actually walk you through very briefly what that looks like. So this is our summarizing agent. So you will be provided with an article. Your task is to carefully read and comprehend the content of the article. After analyzing the transcript, generate a concise summary of the key points and main ideas in the video/article. And by the way, the cool thing about this is I use it to summarize my YouTube content. So like I have like 2 or 3 sentences like in my school community explaining what it does, and you can kind of purpose it for many different things. The summary should be informative, helpful, to the point, with a maximum length of 35 words. And then we just tell it to do things like identify the core message, highlight the important facts or statistics, no fluff, blah, blah, blah. Remember, your goal is to provide a comprehensive yet succinct overview of video's content, enabling readers to quickly grasp the core message and the main takeaways. Do not repeat the title. So we come down, that's awesome. And then what we need to do is basically just give it the output from the text parser, right? So we come down to text parser, click OK. Awesome. And then, well, of course, what we need to do is give them a name. And I'm a big fan of the snappy summary. Let's give this snappy summary. Let's come over. All right. Rename the snappy summary with a beautiful crocodile. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so we've got the article, we've got the AI-enriched data, and then we've got a really cool snappy summary. So what do we need to do next? Well, look, then I want to give it a Midjourney prompt. Now, you can do it with DALL-E, and we'll get to the point in the second part of this automation where you can create that photo and just have it post straight to Instagram or Facebook, X, or LinkedIn, or whatever you want. But some of you will really want to do the Midjourney thing. Now, if you watch the Midjourney video, you'll know exactly how to automate this in here. But for simplicity's sake, and again, out of respect for your time, I'm just going to add it in so you can get the prompt, okay? So what we do then here, okay, is plus. I want you to click on this, and this time, message and assistant. So the difference between, if you don't know, an assistant and a completion is you build it in Make and you give it a prompt. An assistant is built over here on platform.openai.com/assistants. And we can kind of give these guys files. And the beautiful thing about assistants is that if I have like 1,000 automations, I can plug that assistant in all of them. I change one thing and they all change automatically. So assistants are really powerful like that. So if I come over to automation, the assistant I'm going to go for here is Midjourney bot. And I've specified the aspect ratio that I want here within the actual prompt itself. And then we've got the message. So what's the message? Well, I'm going to give it the snappy summary. And I'm also going to give it the text from the text parser, because this is like a kind of easy, quick summary. And then this is the more detailed text. So summary is this. And then text. Full article is this. Cool. All right. That's pretty sweet, right? And then we click. Okay. And of course, where are we? Without our formalities. Midjourney, and we want a little photo, I think. Okay, sweet. Now, before I build the next part of automation, I'm just going to run this very quickly. I'm going to test the Midjourney prompt to see what that looks like in practice. Okay, sweet. Let's have a look. All right, Midjourney's working in the background. Let's see if we've got a nice snappy summary, and we do. Apple and OpenAI are partnering to integrate ChatGPT, blah, blah, blah. And then Midjourney is progressing the image. Awesome. Okay, and that has given us a prompt. This then is the bit of the video where we now bring in our Facebook, our Instagram, our LinkedIn, our Twitter, and then our viral hook agents. So let's start by building those, shall we? Now, you've already learned in this video all the skills you need for adding in the agents. So this bit should be pretty straightforward for us. So the first thing I need you to do is add on plus. Okay, and looking for a router like this. So click on that nice router. That's good. Okay, so look, come over here. Click on this guy. We're gonna go for message and assistant, like so. It's loading up a little bit, having a good time. Man, they do like to keep us in suspense, I must admit. They like to keep us, treat us mean to keep us keen. They've got A-class game. So, assistant, well, we need to build the assistant, right? Every AI automation everything's numbered chronologically, so you can see it based on the type of thing that you want to go for. Is it voice, make money, lead generation? This is stuff like making money with agents, AI automation agencies, stuff like that. And in the bottom, we got our agents for every single social media platform. So for this case, let's say I wanted Facebook. I would click on Facebook, I'd come down, and all I would do is I'd just download this, copy the text, and import it. So I'll show you what that looks like briefly for our Generation 3 agent. So we go through things, we explain, because here's the thing, guys, like, you can automate any text you want to for social media. But again, it's like automation in service of what? Like, if it isn't good, like if it's not giving you the right quality responses, you may as well not be doing it, which is why I think it's so important with these things that you really go deep and you think intelligently about the prompts that you're giving it. Like our Twitter agent, for example, we've just flooded it with like examples of, hey, this tweet is great. Here's an example of X, Y, and Z. It just really lifts the quality. So we go on, we explain different things like grab the attention, and we looked at like, well, what is the framework of what makes a Facebook post good, right? Well, we've got a common framework of hook, context, detailed story, lesson insights, CTA, hashtags. Aim for a post length that tells a complete story but keeps the core message accessible within the first 2 sentences. Seamlessly, oh my goodness, an M got missed there. Can you believe it? Must when I copied it over. Weaving 3 to 5 keywords that the target audience may use in searches. If you're giving an article, do not write about it in first person, blah, blah, blah. Weave all the stuff. And then we give it tone of voice stuff. So we copy that, right? Now what do? Well, we head back over then to the platform. We click on create at the top and then just call this one, hey, Facebook agent. I'm going to put build together. And at the beginning of it, I'm just going to put a nice little flame so we know. Incredible. And then what we do, guys, we just paste it in. How cool is that? Now, we've got this, the model, GPT-4 Omni. It's cheap. It's very, very good. And then we've got this cool ability here to add file search. Now, this is the part of the video where I blow your mind. Or at least I hope I blow your mind, because I think this stuff is like, I've been sat with this stuff for a while, and I still think it's so cool. I think you're going to love this. What makes this unique? Okay, if you're watching this video, your niche is going to be different than everybody else's niche. You've got unique skills and experiences. On top of that, let's say you're a consultant and you've got a website full of materials. You can download all of those materials. We can scrape your videos like YouTube. I've got another video I'll show you how to scrape all of the content from your YouTube channel. What we do, we add it to a document, okay? Now that document is your knowledge base. It's like what makes your business amazing. And all we do is we come to file, enable file search, click on plus files, and we add it in. Like, this is knowledge base. And then what we do is we add in your tone of voice. What does that mean? Well, what it basically means is that when you give, these outputs, not only is it trained on the best like AI for the particular platform, but on top of that, we've sort of woven in the DNA of how you communicate, and everything's so unique about your business. So for example, if you're like an AI automation agency and you specialize in growth, or you really add the value and you've got loads of really unique experiences and use cases, and you're talking about like businesses that are failing, you could bring in things like, in our vast experience, we found blah, 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 or like we found the ABC framework really helpful. That's just like, you're not getting that with cookie cutter templates. Like, this is unique and personal. Again, has to be good quality, has to really make a difference. So how do we do that? Well, if you are that person that has a business of resource, if you're not, by the way, that's cool. Everyone starts at square one. If you are, scrape all your content, get into an article. I can do a video on it if you want to, explaining exactly how you would do that, because there's a few little tricks. So this is an example of Alex Ramirez's tone of voice that I did to illustrate this point. So I got one of Alex's books, $100 million offers, and I said, cool, let's break it down and analyze it, right? So what do? We look at the vocabulary and word choice. Now, the way to get like very, very close is you create an agent with a prompt, again, all down below in the description in the school community. And what we say is, look, I want you to look through this whole thing and focus on vocabulary and word choice. So for example, I fed all of Alex's stuff and it gave us all this output. So for example, this tells you what Alex does for his vocab and word choice. So for example, Alex uses a mix of simple conversational words and more specialized business marketing terminology, blah, 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 blah. And this is the output you get: punctuation, sentence structure and length, rhetorical devices, paragraph structure, tone and mood, overall coherence, cohesion. Oh my goodness. Idiosyncrasies and quirks, dialogue, figurative language. So you basically get an output of the DNA of your voice. How you get there is by doing prompts to ChatGPT, GPT-4 Omni preferably in this case. So what do? If I show you, for example, here, what we do is we feed it your content and we say, hey, based on a blurb extract, I want you to Analyze the given text for the following micro-level element, vocabulary and word choice, and we're asking it to do these little mini actions. Look for distinctive or unusual word choices. Alex says stuff. Alex talks at a 3rd grade reading level deliberately, and it'll pick up on that stuff. Then we do the same thing, grammatical patterns. So for example, what would that look like? Well, I would copy it. I would go over to, let's say for example, ChatGPT as a for instance, and I would say I'd post it in, and then all I would do is I would attach like this, attach the file, and then it would give you an output, put it in a document, and then just rinse and repeat that process until you've covered everything, until you've done 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, excuse me. Okay, I'm adding bonus ones that aren't even there. Does it take a few minutes? Yes, but if you had a chatbot that could like spit out words in your tone of voice, wouldn't that be worth doing it? I kind of think it would. So this is an optional step, but one I think is pretty epic, and I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't tell you about it, so you can smash it and win. So look, what have we done? We've created it. Okay, now look, I'm going to add here the tone of voice. So click to upload. I add my tone of voice guidelines, and I attach it, and that's basically it. And you can see there, vector store 4, and it's adding it there. Okay, cool. And then basically it's got the tone of voice guidelines, and you could add knowledge base, and we could even say in the prompt, for example, for content to do with X, search knowledge base, blah, blah, blah. Again, I can do a full video on it if you want to. I just want to give you the high level so you can plug, play, and run with it. And once you've done that, guys, if you click off the screen, it's already solved, okay? So for example, then, if I come over to, me find the right page here, to pick an agent, I click on the assistant, and you can see if I refresh the list, it's right there. So then it's literally ready to plug and play, which is incredible. So then guys, all you do at this point is you pick all the agents that you want. For example, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and we just repeat the same process over and over again. So let's have a quick look. So we've got this one. Let's rename this one Facebook. And where are we? With our emojis. So Facebook with a flame. That's cool. And we pick a Facebook agent. Let's load up. Again, keeping us in suspense, keeping us waiting. Hopefully, it's like they say, good things come to those who wait. So we select the assistant, and then we need to give it a message. So the message needs to be this, right? So I'd say, look, the summary, okay? And I'd come down, and I'd go for snappy summary. So it snaps a lot. And then I'd do the article, which is down here on text parser. And then I call it additional research. And for that, I come over to Perplexity, I go into choices, I go down to message, and I just pick content. And that's literally all we need to do. And now what I want to do, just for simplicity's sake, is copy all, like so, click OK. And then just clone this 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, like that. Let's get rid of this grey guy trying to take over automation. We need to be careful about that. Hang on a minute. Cool. And then let's add all at once. So click on this guy. Let's, instead of Facebook, we do Instagram. Now, you have Instagram. What you would need to do, and remember, is just head over to school, pick Instagram, come down, download the agent, and just simply copy and paste over, and then you can add your tone of voice. A cool little tip for you as well, by the way, when you're making these agents over here, is you can actually, where if you come down here, you see this clone button. If I click clone, as you might have guessed, the clone button clones it. Who would have thought, right? But basically, all that means is all the files are already attached, so you don't have to keep on re-adding files. And now I've just turned this of copy Facebook. I just turned it to Instagram, blah, blah, and then enter the instructions, and then it's done automatically for you. So you don't ever need to worry about that. So just repeat the process for every single agent, or if you're writing the code for yourself, just enter it all in, add all the resources, and you're ready to go at that stage. So let's head back over now to the automation and flesh these out. So what do? We've copied all of them. Then we'll just select Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. So this one's going to be Instagram, like so. Okay, sweet. Click OK. Right click. Rename to Instagram. Beautiful. I like this. Twitter's a good one. Like, Twitter's one of those platforms that doesn't punish you for volume. On like a TikTok, like if you do like 1,000 TikToks, at some point they're like, bro, you need to relax, man. We need to stop giving this guy so many coffees. So we got LinkedIn. That's awesome. It's really funny, isn't it, how all the algorithms are so different and like how they all change so much. Like, one of my best friends was telling me like TikTok in 2019 was like the Wild West. Like you could post like almost anything and you would go crazy viral with it. Like it was ridiculous. So we come here, come to Twitter, Sweet. I mean, all we want here is high quality output that makes your life easier using the best AI, using the best automations. That's basically it. With a sprinkle, because, you know, what this isn't is just spamming nonsense content. Like, we would never want to do that ever. That's like pointless. But what it is about is like, how can we use the best of AI and automations with what makes you who you are and your magic in a way that you can edit the content and run with it. Like, it's just so cool. And then we click OK. Now look, I realign, bring it all in. Now what do we need to do? Now we just want to add it to Airtable. So you might have guessed it. We need to head over to airtable.com. Right, now look, what do? I come down to bottom left, I click create, start with data. Excuse me, not start with data. Come down to create, building customers. Yeah, let's have a look at this one. Get rid of that. I was right the first time. I need to trust my instincts. So let's have a look at the different fields that we had. All right, cool. So we've got the URL, snappy summary, enriched search, and then platform. All right, cool. So check this out. First of all, you double click on it, URL, single line text is fine. Okay, then we double click on this one. We're gonna call this one, let me just get this verbatim. So snappy summary. I'm just gonna copy this because we love our little shortcuts, right? Snappy summary, you come back over. And long text is cool. So this is gonna be, and all we need to do is right click and duplicate. Then after that, we've got AI enriched search. We come back over, we right click, we edit, AI enriched search, cool. And let's just bring it out so we can see our emoji. And again, we duplicate, we come back, and then we've got the platform, which is cool. Double click, type in platform, and then right click again, duplicate field, come back over, and we keep on doing this content. And then this is the bit where it gets a little bit different, okay? So type this in, enter the content, and then we click okay. Now look at this. We've got 3 statuses: approved, in progress, and declined. So realistically, you only really need approved. I like having declined on there because it's like, it lets me know that I've reviewed it and I don't want it. But I include the options so that you can, again, if you want to configure this in different ways, you can do. So to do that, for this one, just bring status over and you right click, edit field, and the selector is single select, okay? And let's just change them. Approved, in progress, declined. That's it. That is as simple as that is. So this will be the thing, by the way, that triggers when it will actually post and what you want to post and stuff. So look, if I come back, I've got the status, then I've got Midjourney prompt. So come over to content, right click, duplicate it. I like to bring it past status. It's just a preference of mine. Double click it, Midjourney prompt. Cool. And obviously a photo because it'd be appropriate. Then you need to add 2 fields that are going to be really important. So get rid of the signee for now. Click this plus to add new thing. And one's going to be created time. So the reason we need to add these 2 things, okay, is because we need a way of knowing, like, of the, like, say 57, things we've got here. If I only want to post 32 and 29, how does our automation know that? So the way that it knows that is by these 2 fields called created time and last modified time. You have to add these 2 in, okay? Last modified time. Now look, last modified time. So basically what happens is whenever you make any amendment to any like row, this last modified time thing will change. And so that'll say, hey, number 32 changed and number 25 changed, come and sort it out. And that will enable us to know and help the system to know which post it is posting and where it needs to post it. Now you've done that, you built it. Oh my goodness, we completely forgot. We need to name it. What do we call it? Viral. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, how many times can I get viral wrong? Viral with an up emoji, symbolic of your success. Okay, cool. Now, what do we do? Well, we come back. Cool, and now we're gonna add in Airtables, okay? So you click the button, type in Airtable here, come down, show more, create a record. Awesome. We'll just like pipping and popping, let that lit up a little bit, and we pick the base. Viral. I need to get more consistent with my naming conventions because it's funny in the video, but when I look back and I've got like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what do half of these mean? And I'm like, it just takes so much time. So that's one for me to look at some point. I click on table 1. That is a good point, by the way. We need to do one other thing I haven't added yet, okay? Come back over to viral. And then here, I'm gonna call this viral social posts. Okay, and let's give it a diamond. Now, I also want a script because like I've got my text and audio stuff, my text and image. But what if I just want to grab a TikTok and say, yo, what's up? I'm talking about OpenAI in the house. Not maybe you wouldn't pitch it like that, but you get the idea, right? If I click on next, now look at this. I want to let's right click. Oh my goodness, why is it not letting me do that? That's so funny. Okay, cool. So we need to add a new page. Okay, so add here, start from scratch. And this one, I'm going to call this one short form video. All right. And we want a video. So we know it's a video. Cool. Now with this one, if I come back over and show you on this one, for example, like short script, URL, AI enriched, hook, content status. So in fact, what I'm going to do, because I am a little bit lazy this beautiful afternoon, I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to come here, I'm going to right click, and I'm just going to duplicate it. Dun, 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 duplicate it. Cool. And then now let's rename it. Because if we're automating like 15 jobs away, the least we can do is automate the duplication of content, okay? URL, snappy summary, AI enriched search, yep. And then platform, we don't need anymore. So it's right click on that and delete. Status is fine. Midjourney prompt, we don't require. And status, we do not. Actually, let's leave status in. I don't want to get too carried away. Status is cool. All right, cool. Now that's done. Come back over then to our automation. I'm going to fill out the Airtables, and then I'm going to show you how you build the script very briefly. So at table, we need to refresh it because we changed enable. By the way, if it ever doesn't work, just hit refresh back here, and you'll see that it just will now pull down the latest stuff. So we want the viral social post. That's cool, Jack. And then we come down, URL. Let's go through this. Come down. URL is all the way at RSS. Boom. Snappy summary from Sir Snaps a lot. Where are you, buddy? Result. AI enriched search. Scroll down. Choices. Message. Content. Platform. Now the platform is the thing that we're looking at here. In this case, it's Facebook, okay? So Facebook with a fire emoji. Awesome. So then we'll know what platform, and you'll see how this will lean into what gets posted where afterwards. And this is just like, I think the most simplest way of planning to do this. And then we've got the content, and you'll notice the only content that's available is the content that's flown through on the string. I think of it as water flowing down. It's like it can't grab the Instagram water because of this may be the worst analogy in 2024, but hopefully you get what I mean. Airtable. I need another one of his coffees. I got a decaf now, actually. I'm trying to add in some decaf. In very excited, because if this video wasn't exciting enough, I just got to make it more exciting for you, right? With my decaf coffees. Click on result. That's cool. Status, don't worry about. Midjourney prompt. Come down and add in the result, and then click OK. And then we're going to 6-day it, and we're going to clone these guys. Okay, clone. It's so funny, like 11 Labs, like instead of calling it like your like digital voice clone, they called it like your they're like a different name for it that wasn't like really cloning, like they your like voice avatar or something. And I'm like, they're trying to like pacify you a little bit, right, to make you feel comfortable with it. But I'm here for it. Instagram, we click on. Now what do? Well, that can't be done, so we get rid of content and we just click on Instagram. And then crucially, you have to change the platform, okay? Instagram, Rocket. Now, like, you'll always be using these things like Instagram Rocket, Facebook Flame. My little tip for you is just be consistent across all of it, okay? Like, even in the agents and stuff, so you don't, because like if you get the emojis crossed over, you're in for a world of pain. So Instagram status prompt, awesome. Same thing with LinkedIn. Come down. Platform is LinkedIn with the briefcase. LinkedIn has highest average user salary of any platform, and a lot of people that are loving LinkedIn at the moment, they're finding it awesome for generating leads and things. So click on content and result from LinkedIn. Sweet. Come down. Everything's the same. And finally, Twitter. We click on Twitter. We just change the name. Twitter. I think the verdict's still out on whether we're calling them excrements or not instead of tweets. Okay. Interestingly, by the way, that's a really cool way of how language evolved around a platform that they probably didn't. I don't know if they thought about that when they first built it or not, but that is quite interesting. So now, if you want to do the short form content thing at this stage, what would I do? I would add in create a completion. So what do? We come down, come here, right click, and we're calling this one hooks with a nice little hook. Sweet. And then we need to feed it the data. So we'll click on Twitter to shortcut our progress a little bit. Come down, Copy all of this, click OK, click on hook. Max tokens is 0. Model is GPT-4o system. Come down to the message, role is user, message content, enter in, click OK. And then we're going to clone it, bring it over, click on this guy. Right click on his name, sorry. Rename, and we'll call this one viral script. So to grab the hook and the viral script agent, we just head over now to the school community, and then in the school community, basically everything is in the classroom. So we've got, by the way, we've got level lock systems, so as you can actually, if you join the community, you can win things like free membership. There's like loads of cool things. Like we've got like $1,600 worth of like make software once you reach level 2 or 3. So you just get all plugins and stuff that you'd have to pay for like €40 a pop for. Every AI automation. And again, when you come in, you'll see at the top here, it'll be lesson 28 or 27. And basically all the stuff will be here to download at the bottom. And of course, we've got all the agents down there. But just for simplicity's sake to show you, this is all viral hooks document here. So you can see, now look, as a language model, your task is to generate 3 attention-grabbing hooks. You'll receive text, then reference the viral hook examples down below to create 3 hooks to create a curiosity gap. A curiosity gap is an unanswered question. In other words, when we speak, if first thing I say doesn't make you think, you're basically consistently buying 5 seconds and 10 and 20 and increasingly in amounts of time increments. And we just go through explaining stuff like, analyze it, add lines of text and the data. When you understand it, look at the best practices. We explain the format, we're explicit on that. And then we just give it all these different viral hook examples, and we use that as a reference for it to create spoken hooks on stuff that actually works. So again, all you do, you copy the data, you go to platform.openai.com, you create a new agent, you give it a cool title, and then you add it in exactly the same way that we did before. And then after that, you want to have a look at viral script. Now, for the purposes of this one, I'm just going to copy it all here, and I'm just going to add it in as a completion. Again, you can do that if you want to. I've just put like chat completion. Awesome. Come down here at the bottom and just enter it in. Boom. Perfect. Again, I'd recommend that you do it as an agent if you think it's likely that you use it in multiple automations. If you think it's going to be one and done, then just create a completion instead of an agent. And then we've got our viral script. Now, here's the beautiful thing about the viral script is that it does the context. In other words, like, okay, so I've given you the hook. You're now bought in. I'm going to give you the context. Then so what? Okay, great. Okay, this is happening. Why does that matter? And then also, we then mini hook them again. So for example, intrigue. Why does it matter? Context, why it matters. But then it's like, but then how does that fit in with blah, blah, blah? Or like, but that means nothing unless you know X. So we actually build in mini hooks because getting past 35 seconds is one thing. We have to keep on repurchasing attention. So again, this goes through all the different things in there. Context, why it matters. Mini hooks, if you're curious what that looks like when it comes out, you can see in the short script here what it looks like. Hook options, blah, blah, blah. What you can say is a hook, and then context, why it matters, mini hook, context, why it matters, mini hook, blah, 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 all the way down. How cool is that? I mean, you do nothing. You set and forget this. It's like finished. And you can also glance over the AI and research and just all that really, really cool stuff. Now look, I copy all of it. I head now back over. And I come here, excuse me, oh my goodness. And enter that in and then get rid of this information. Okay, that's sweet. I'm going to put this at the top on this one here. All right, sweet. Then we click, okay, sweet. And then all we do is we add it to Airtable. Click on Airtable, create a record, the base, viral with 100 eyes. And then we add this to page 2. Come on to table, short form video content, like that. Cool. And then just like we did before, enter all the same stuff. So URL is over here. The snappy summary from So Snaps a lot, AI enriched search, AI enriched search over here. Come down to choices, come down to message, and then the content. And then we've got the content itself, which in other words is like, what am I adding where? So for this, for example, one thing we need to add in really quick is that I did not add. Let me just duplicate the first one here to be hooks. Okay. And then this one needs to be script. My apologies, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, long text, cool. That makes sense. There we go. That looks a lot better, right? So what do we come back over now to automation? We come over here and let's just refresh it a little bit so we can get a bit more of a refreshed view of what's going on. Oh, that looks much better. Hook from Hooky Boy, script from So Scripts a lot, status, don't to worry about. Then we click OK. Now look, we've done a lot here, so let's auto-align it all. Let's save it to lock in the progress and look at our body of work. Look at our body of work. How beautiful is that? Now I think it's time to run through the whole thing. So what do? We hit run once to the left. RSS grabs it. We get the HTTP. We got the text. Perplexity working its magic. So Snapslot's working it. Midjourney now, we're creating a Midjourney prompt for that, which is cool. That's going to sit there. It's available. We'll grab it if we want to. Hey, it's our call. Now look, shoots up to Facebook. The Facebook assistant is working on it. So head over now to viral. What should we see? We should see things start to come in. The first thing we're going to see is Facebook. You'll see Facebook appear right here or down here. Boom, Facebook. Look at this. Let's open up and quick check it out. What have we got? What's our snappy summary? By the way, while we're doing this, look at this. It's working its way all the way through. Apple integrates ChatGPT into it's the same examples before, right? Recent insights with dates, CNBC's included, Facebook. And look at this, guys. Big news. Apple is teaming up with OpenAI to bring ChatGPT to iOS, iPad, and macOS later this year. Imagine having ChatGPT's intelligence at your fingertips through Siri and writing tools. Quick aside, it's funny that Apple hasn't made an AI play, don't you think? Like, because they're already saturating a lot of their markets, they need new verticals, so weird, but that's another conversation entirely. Whether you're generating content or seeking answers, ChatGPT is here to assist effortlessly. Privacy matters. Requests sent to ChatGPT are not stored by OpenAI. Okay, that's quite cool. And then look at this, guys. Question, what are you most excited about using ChatGPT for on your Apple devices? Dive into the future of AI with Apple and OpenAI. Tech news, Apple innovation, ChatGPT. Look at all these beautiful things here. And then we've even got a Midjourney prompt for the exact same thing we want that we can then go over to Midjourney and use. Or again, if you use my video in my community, you can automate the whole thing and have that there. You can automate with DALL-E, by the way, in the sort of journey, but it depends on the quality you want. We all know DALL-E isn't as great as Midjourney. Let's just be honest for a second and say that actually, really, if you want high quality, you want Midjourney or to use your own photos. Again, I can even show you how you can use your own photos in another video. Dude, one of these days, might just do a 16-hour video. I'm just sat here showing you everything I could show you in one go. I don't know if we would ever have time for that. But look, that's cool. That's done. And guys, look at this. Let me just delete these rows. These rows existed beforehand. And we've got it all. Well, what about the tweet? Tell me about the tweet. What's the tweet for this? I'm curious. And can you see how, like, it's really tailored the responses to, like, the platform? Apple partners OpenAI to bring ChatGPT to iOS, iPadOS, and macOS this year. Siri and writing tools now feature ChatGPT's capabilities with privacy protections built in. How do you think this will change the way you use your Apple devices? Question. Hashtag AI, hashtag Apple. I love this automation. And what's so cool? Dude, like, OpenAI publishes the blog, we're sat down, we're sipping our coffees, we're enjoying life, and these tweets appear. That's the future, baby. That is so unbelievably cool. I can't tell you how cool I think that is. And you've got all your platforms. And what about the short form video though, Jack? Tell me about that. Well, okay, let's have a look. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so some hooks. Would you believe me if I said Siri got a secret AI upgrade that changes everything? I actually think that's a good hook. If you want to master your writing on Apple devices, you're going to need this new tool. I'm finally starting to realize that Siri just became infinitely smarter with this latest update. Look at that curiosity gap. Like, if someone said that to you, you'd be like, what update? Like, tell me about it. Now look at this. Context. Apple's teaming with OpenAI. Value and so what? This is a big deal because of blah. But what makes this integration truly groundbreaking? Can you see, like, hopefully this is coming across, like, how epic that, like, if we did, most people wouldn't, first of all, it would just be gibberish. Like, can you see how by structuring it in this intelligent way, like the actual, and you may want to change some of this stuff, right? But you can just see that it does so much of the heavy lifting for you. So you can grab your phone, drink your coffee, have a good time. And that's not all, there's even more. But how will they keep your data? I think it's cool. I think this is so sick. So we've got everything. And essentially that's like the whole automation. But now it's the second bit, which is like, let's say we've seen it and now we want to actually post it. So we called the first one viral with 100 eyes. Let's come back over now. I'll call this one viral, and we need this one to be 2 out of 2. Come back. I name these goofy names as a bit of a joke, by the way. I think, like, in reality, call them what it does, like your mega social media system. All right, cool. That's cool, right? Now let's go over. So what do we need to do now? Well, look, let me show you what the automation looks like. We have Airtable that watches for new records. We check to see if it's approved. If it's approved, then it can go through all our filters to post all our really cool content. So let's build this together. Now, let's look. First things first, click on this, click on Airtable. Now I want to click on Watch Records, all right? Click on this, wait for it to load a little bit, click on the base. Looking for viral with 100 eyes. Table is going to be viral social posts. And the record I went into the trigger field, last modified time. Do you remember? Flashbacks, last modified time, last modified time. I sometimes say it in my sleep sometimes, I say that much. Last modified time. Label field, coming down to status. Limits 10, views not necessary, formulas not necessary. Then we click OK. Then we click on plus. And you'll see, if you come back to my other automation here, we have a router and we have a filter. Okay, now look, router. Now let's add first of all, let's run this module, okay? Look, let's put all this content through. Why have I run it? I just want to flood the streets of automation with data. I've done that so that now when I click right click, I set a filter and I just say approved. I can say, look at this, guys. Check this out, right? Click on a condition. I now have, look, this is why Airtable's so cool. This is why it's been hitting the gym so much. Like, I can actually now pull through status, which I wouldn't have had I not actually gone through and flooded data. Now, I want to click on this bit here, scroll down, okay, contains case insensitive, approved. By the way, guys, you want to double check this. Like, if your scenario breaks, it's probably because you zigged when you should have zagged with the filters, and they are not forgiving. So it contains, if the status contains the word approved, you may pass. Think of this as Gandalf. In fact, I'm not calling him Gandalf anymore. I'm not calling him approved, I'm calling him Gandalf. Because he is the wizard that watches what happens here. So he can say, you can tell people you got Gandalf guiding your automations, and they'll now know what you're talking about. All right, cool. Now what do? We add in the social post. So for example, I'll show you how you would do this. Click on this one. Let's say you do want to create an image of Dolly. Click on this. Come down to Dolly, like so. Let's have a look. Excuse me, image. Where are you at? Generate an image with Dolly. Model, Dolly 3, always. Prompt is going to be, now guys, see I told you Midjourney prompt? It's right there. So, boom, there you go. Add it in. Let's rename him Photo Boy. So good that you can't get like workplace harassment suits by like giving these AIs funky names, right? All right, Photo Boy with a shake my head. Cool, love it. And then click on this. And then Instagram, we're gonna come down, create a photo post like so. And then what do you want? Well, photo URL is gonna be, let's have a look. Photo Boy, who's done a hard work for him, URL. And then the caption is gonna be, dun, 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 come down here, content. Boom. Done. Click OK. Beautiful. Now what's next? LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn. I'm just going to put text post for simplicity here, but you can do photo post, you do the exact same thing again. Create user text post, click on LinkedIn. Content is just the content. Sweet. Media type. It can be article or empty as you prefer. Come down, click OK. Sweet. Again, you can reconfigure these however you want to. I'm just showing you how it works. Then we've got Facebook. Let's have a look. Facebook pages. We want to create. Oh my goodness, guys. Apologies. Facebook, like so. You need to go to. Where is the Facebook on this? Oh my goodness. Facebook pages. Okay, cool. Facebook pages. Create a post. Sweet. And again, you come here. Click on this guy. Page, the page you've got on there, message, come down, content. Now, if you're thinking, dude, that none of this stuff is connected, in my school community, I've got all the tutorials and guides on how you actually connect them all because I know it can be a bit of a nightmare. So if you decide to join us in school community, you basically come over to Classroom, go to the Make Classroom, and you'll see how you connect these, how you connect X, how you connect Instagram and Facebook, how you connect LinkedIn, all those guys. X is a little pesky because you have to go through the little developer thing. So all the basic of the tutorials there. If you feel the extra support, that's there to help if that would be of value to you. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we've got the content. That's decent. And we've got the link. Let's have a look now then. Okay, so we need that. We click OK. Sweet. Now what do we do next? Well, okay. Once we've done that, we need to add our final note, which is going to be Twitter. So come down here to Twitter. Awesome. Come here. And then we're going to go for, oh my goodness, guys. Come down here. That's better, right? X. Let's do create a post. Text content. Again, the beautiful way that we've set this automation up is all we do is basically just the same content all the way through. So look, content. Sweet. Then we click OK. Now, you've got one last thing to do, and then you sail off into the sunset. I'll show you what it is, okay? we need to now basically know which route it should go up. So for that, I want you to click on this, call this one Instagram, okay? Like so. And the condition is platform contains case insensitive Instagram. In other words, if in our thing here, let's say that we're in here and I approve the LinkedIn post, I approve a tweet, what it will check is, okay, what platform is that? And if it's a tweet, it will say, if that doesn't say Twitter here, if it doesn't say Twitter here, this basically, said another way, the platform tells us which of the 4 routes it goes up. And the filters just says, look, I'm Facebook only, I'm Instagram only, I'm whatever only. So you get that level of security. LinkedIn, I click on it, look, label, LinkedIn. Condition is the fact that platform case insensitive or contains case insensitive LinkedIn. Cool. And then we do the same thing for Facebook. Click on this. Facebook condition is that the platform contains case insensitive. Why am I doing contains versus equals to? Because it's simpler. I find it's a more robust way to do it because like sometimes it's capitalized, it's emoji, it just gets really complicated. Contains case insensitive is just a really simple way to do it. Click on this. Let's go for, let's call this one Instagram. Okay, sweet. Contains, the platform contains case insensitive Instagram. It was Instagram, I think, wasn't it? No, it was X. Oh my goodness. Okay, contains Twitter or whatever you decide to call it. Sweet. Click OK. Click Save. Then realign it. And now we're ready to run through one final time. So let's run this through and see what we want to do. So first of all, let me run this through to make sure no additional data is coming out. Oh my goodness. So X is kicked off. X isn't very happy. So if you get something like that says, hey, there's an authorization error, all you ever need to do, okay, is come over to make.com, sign in, come onto connections on the left-hand side, guys, and all you do is come over and all you reauthorize. So I've clicked on reauthorize here, make wants my approval. I'm happy to give my approval to you, sir. Am I happy with that? Authorize that. Remember for Twitter, if you follow the video, you've got to go and do like a developer account, but it's like, when you know how, it's always simple, isn't it? And then it says, thanks, cool. And they come back over, right? So where's our cool scenario? Is it this one here? Let's have a look. Oh, where are we indeed? Okay, we'll come back to our scenario. Now let's run this once again. Nothing happened. Why has nothing happened? There's been no changes. So what did I do last time? I did Twitter, right? So let's do Instagram this time, okay? Let's go to what? Let's peruse and see what we think. Let's look at the Instagram one. What do we think here? Let's have a quick look. Do we like it? Yeah, I like that. It's giving us a nice, beautiful short prompt. You can get long ones, short ones within the thing itself. I look at the status. I'm going to say approved. I come back over now to the automation. I click run once, and if this has done its job properly, it should only go to Instagram. There you go. Photo boy's making an image for us. And then we're waiting, and then it'll post on Instagram. While we're waiting for that, let's pull up Instagram so we know. There we go. All right, sweet. Let's go to Ham. Go to my MMA podcast. Me and my friend did. Come over. Instagram's working in the background, and it's done. So this has worked on Instagram now. We should see a post and we should see some text. Let's check it out. Let's refresh the page. 15 seconds ago, Siri just got smarter. ChatGPT is now integrated into iOS, iPadOS, and macOS for seamless AI use, completely automatic. Does it work? Well, let's try Twitter. Let's see if that works. Approved. Come back. Run the scenario again. This time, goes to Twitter. Let's check out Twitter. All right, Twitter. And whilst we're checking out Twitter, by the way, I'm also going to show you the difference between Midjourney and DALL-E. Check this out. Okay, come down to Imagine, hit enter. Now I'm going to let that run in the background a little bit while I come back and we check my Twitter out. So check out Twitter, come over. Let's go to my profile. Apple partners OpenAI to bring ChatGPT 25 seconds ago. Mac, iOS, iPadOS, and macOS late this year. Siri and writing tools now feature ChatGPT's capabilities and privacy protections built in. How do you think this will change the way you use Apple's devices? Hashtag AI, hashtag Apple. Guys, and that's it. You've just built a fully autonomous GPT-4o powered, ChatGPT enabled, cool AI automation. I feel like I'm almost rapping with all the different things I'm saying. Now, very quickly, I'm going to show you the Midjourney thing so you can see what that looks like. Let's have a look at create. And there you go. The difference of that. I mean, like, the quality is a step change up, isn't it? I mean, that's crazy good. That's ridiculous. And obviously, if you do my Midjourney automation, you can build those yourselves and check that out. But ultimately, guys, that's how you build everything. Now, look, if you're just starting out with making AI automations or you think you'd benefit from support, I'd encourage you to watch this video. It's going to pop on screen right now, which is about 10 levels of AI automation. We start with something very basic and build up to level 10, and each of the levels build on each other. I built it specifically with you in mind to help you on your journey to rock it and kill it. But in any case, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching the video. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.